Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first Wednesday webinar with Ben and Roman. Oh. Let me just disable that sound. Oh, right. Camera looks a little bit different. That's because I'm using a different camera today due to some technical difficulties, but we'll get that sorted for the next webinars. Today, we're going to be talking about smart money concept and the market overview. We already talked about it yesterday for a little bit, but I did most of the talking, so I'm going to give it away to Roman today to let him show what he's prepared for you all. Hi, Roman. How you doing?
Oh, no, I'm doing good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Just a little bit stressed from the technical difficulties, but we're up and running, so that's good.
Yeah. So yeah, today we want to start working on our, I hope, weekly series of videos where we will build our watch list and analyze the markets from the highest time frame to the lowest and build our expectation. Yeah, I'm not sure if we will be able to cover all the coins that we want to, so we probably have to add a couple of coins every next stream. So we'll start with the most popular coins now, like Bitcoin, Ethereum, maybe something else. And the next stream we'll add something more.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Anything we want to know from the audience? Like we talked about it yesterday, about people on the chat or in Discord letting us know what markets they are interested in as well. Do you have any suggestions on what to look for when they suggest markets?
And what do you mean?
The markets for the watch list. If you have any criteria to say, look, only use coins that are trading above a certain volume or are at the top of the coin market cap or something like that.
Well, since we're just learning, it is good to look at the coins that are in top 100 of market cap.
Okay.
It can be like a few exceptions if you have any favorites or like any popular sector that might be rising.
Oh, so a category. So if we're looking at meme coins, then we can, or if we're looking at NFTs, if they're still NFT projects or whatever.
Yeah, like if a gaming sector is booming, then you might want to add some low cap gaming coins to your watch list.
All right. Makes sense. All right. So I'm looking at the chart, but I see TradingView.
Yeah, we have to.
What's that about?
Yeah, the problem is that we don't have a couple of charts that are really important to have the intermediate and long-term overview of the market, such as the market cap and dominance charts.
Yeah. Is this in the free version of TradingView?
What?
Is this available in the free version of TradingView?
Yeah, sure.
That's good to know. So if you're not using TradingView because everything you normally use is in Altrady, then don't worry. We don't make you take out a TradingView subscription if you don't want to, because the stuff is available for free.
Yeah. So we want to start with building our long-term expectation about the crypto market. I just wanted to ask you, like, what is your feeling? Are you bullish or bearish at this moment for Bitcoin, like in the long term? For the next year, let's say?
Well, I've said it before. I think my goal for a Bitcoin all-time high would somewhere be around end of this year. So in that sense, I don't think we've reached the top yet. So I think, yeah, in that sense, I'm bullish. I mean, short term is whatever the market presents, but long term, I don't think we've seen the top just yet.
Yeah, I would agree with that. So we can start analyzing the chart.
I'm also interested, like, what the audience thinks. Like, what is their target? But yeah, go ahead. We'll see those chats come in.
So yeah, I wanted to start with this crypto market cap chart, where you can see like the total capitalization of the crypto market. And as always, we start with monthly chart. And you can see how it was doing since the 2021. So we had this high, then another high, then price went down. We all remember these tough times. And what we have now, so you can see that on monthly, we had this huge fair value gap that has been fulfilled in April this year. And now we have the reaction to the upside. So it already gives us signs that price might go to this level. This would be my target for total market cap. Then to confirm that, we can switch to weekly time frame and see what happened there. So you can see that after fulfilling this fair value gap, we had a weekly shift. Just confirming the bullish move from that point. But what we can see here is that we left another fair value gap here on weekly.
Right.
Yeah, we have another one here, but it has been tested already. So we're not sure if price is going to go down to this one and then go up, or if this one was enough to go up. We're not sure yet, but...
Or maybe it's the start of a range.
Yeah, it may be. But for the range to form... Oh, wait a minute, I don't have this. Draw it here. This one. So for the range to form, it still needs to take out this high anyway. Or do you mean the range within this area, the smaller one?
No, actually the range, so from here and then this. But yeah, it's possible that it will still sweep out this bit, but then move back to here, and then we get to see that at the end of the year.
Yeah. Hey, can you remove these drawings?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Thanks. So yeah, so far we have this test of the weekly fair value gap, and we're not sure yet. We have the bullish reaction from it, but we're not sure if it's going straight up to this target. We also have equal highs here, if you can see.
Yeah. And there, yeah.
So yeah,
there was a small fair value gap here.
Yeah, it's still valid, and there was some reaction at this point.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so we can say that
candle moved. That big candle, this one moved up there.
Yeah. What was that? That was May. I don't remember what happened there. Probably another trade talks, the tariffs.
Oh, probably the relaxation of the initial.
Yeah.
Like, we're gonna tariff everyone. No, we're not. We're gonna tariff everyone. Actually, no, we're not. And then now
a little later.
Now we're gonna tariff Europe, because the tariffs with China have been relaxed. I think they are close to a deal, something like that, which could be the reason for the latest spike in Bitcoin.
It might be, but euro is still going up today.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what's going on there. Wait, where's everything? Okay, so on weekly we have this. First of all, this candle, which is, I don't know the names of that. It's like doji, or what's that name? But it is doji. A bullish candle. And it might provide either a short-term reaction or a long-term. So this could be the first target here, or it might go in here to the higher target. And already knowing that, we can start building our plans for the crypto. It is not the specific coin, but just being mentally prepared to what will happen on the market. So if we go down to the daily time frame, we can see what's going on there. Here we have the daily shift after testing the weekly fair value gap, which is also a very good sign for the short term. And the daily fair value gap.
Yeah. This one did take out a little bit from here, so it's a bit of a...
Yeah, so it took out liquidity and also tested the fair value gap.
Yeah.
So yeah, so now from here, we can see, we can continue building our plans. So we have the fair value gap below the daily one, and we can expect the moves somewhere within these ranges, or price maybe will go down to daily fair value gap like this, and then take out these two highs. Because yeah, this move is very bullish, so I believe we'll take out these highs first before going any lower. Yeah. Or it may be also enough to go even higher. So who knows?
Yeah, anything can happen. Like, it'll probably be some news related initiator that pushes the price there.
Yeah, I mean, that's always happens. But what I've noticed is that when you do backtesting, you don't read the news, what happened on that day, but the chart still moves exactly
it's
as
like
it had to.
It's the catalyst that traders need, right? Or especially retail traders need. So the institutions will push the price to a certain level and accumulate, and then wait for that news to pop, or even generate the news if they're big enough. And then the price will be pushed up to the target levels. Based on the news, because it's easier to move the price on the news, right? If it's something positive or negative news related, then moving the price to higher or lower levels is far easier than on a normal day.
Yeah, that's what happens. But what I'm saying is that like, you don't need to be afraid of the news, because price still just needs to reach the target, and the news just speed up this process.
Yeah.
Most likely. Like, except it's just something crazy happening in the world.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's about, it's a bit difficult when you have two options. Like, it can either go up or down, and then the news comes out and you have to interpret whether it's good or bad news. But the good thing about this is that we enter on our strategy anyway, and we don't enter on the news.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is that if you see the price is go down to this level, let's say on CoinMarketCap, then you can expect the reversal within this area. And you don't need to look at a specific chart of Bitcoin or any other coin. You can just see the total market cap. So this will give you the hint that you might want to look for the reversal. And the same, if price reaches this level first, then it might be the reversal to the downside. Maybe it will go like something like this. I don't know.
Yeah.
But you can build your expectations knowing that. And when we do this top-down analysis, so we started with the monthly, which was obviously very bullish, because we have fulfilled this fair value gap, and we have the only target here. So this is where we will get to on monthly, except it might be the case when, so we have this monthly fair value gap here, and we can have some short-term move like this, and then eventually take out this high.
Yeah.
But the target is here, and this is the most obvious one.
Yep. And then probably a push through because the overall sentiment is still bullish.
Yeah. Also, you can see I added here the Fibonacci retracement with a new level here, which I really like. Like I use the 0.27. It's not the default settings, but I noticed that it works pretty well. And if we compare, let's say, this cycle, when we had the high and then price went higher, where's that? This one. So here, price went higher, 16%. And then if we compare this, it's pretty much similar range.
Yeah, and with the logarithmic scale where things diminish over time, that's actually not too bad. Just dropping a percentage or two.
Oh yeah.
Over a long period of time is not that bad.
So yeah, here we can start building our short-term expectations. As we said, our long-term is bullish. Then on weekly, what is that? It is still most likely bullish. I don't think that we'll retest that area, but if something bad happens, it can retrace to these levels before going up again.
Yeah.
But it is still mostly bullish to me. And then we look at the short term. And short term is also pretty bullish so far.
There's no sign.
So to me,
so this is daily. Yeah, there's no sign of a shift or anything. Shift is fairly low. It's below then has to dip into the weekly fair value gap.
Yeah. So now, as we build our expectation, we can continue talking about other coins and charts. So we can say that all of our perspectives are bullish, and that's already good. But yeah, so short term can be like, I don't know how to say that, but yeah, you can see that it might drop, but then it is still bullish within.
No, I think you can still call it bullish because the basically what you're saying is look for longs and not for shorts.
Yeah.
So and the price has to go down to open a long first. That's the way that this works, right? We buy on a dip plus a shift on an even smaller time frame. So on the daily, it makes sense that it has to go down first for us to be opening longs again. Otherwise, it's not going to dip into a point of interest.
Yeah, and let's see what happens on the 4-hour chart. Weird that this line is hanging in the air for some reason. Yeah, well, 4 hours is also pretty bullish. And we can apply the same Fibonacci here. Yeah, so price might even drop lower.
Yeah, there's that fair value gap on the 4 hour.
And which one?
There, where you had the 50%.
And this one, yeah. I don't see your drawings.
No, I didn't draw anything. But yeah, there. Yeah, because this one's taken out. That's... Oh, no, not yet. Sorry. This will be taken out.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when we look at the market cap, you don't really need to look at the 4 hour.
No.
Because it is too much detail. So daily is more than enough for you to understand the narrative. Okay,
we're bullish.
So, yeah, we can say that we're bullish. For sure. Also, we can check the dollar index and see what's going on there, because dollar used to be negatively correlated to Bitcoin. If we look at the history, every time dollar dropped, Bitcoin went up, and the opposite happened. When dollar went up, the Bitcoin dropped. But for some reason, what I noticed is that as soon as Trump got into the office, both of them started growing up.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. But looks like this correlation already ended. So you can see the dollar is dropping for the past 6 months, and Bitcoin is now going up.
Yeah.
So I think all this crypto hype that happened when Trump became the president is ending, and it might get back to normal now. So, and if we look at the dollar index, we can see that.
So what is the dollar index exactly? What does it do?
Well, it's basically just the index of the dollar, like you would say the euro dollar market. It is pretty much the same, except it shows you the strength of the dollar instead of the strength of the euro. So basically, every time it's going up, it tells you that the dollar is strong.
So it's an index of the dollar against multiple currencies.
I'm not really sure. Like, it's probably. Yeah, I'm not sure how technically it's calculated.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, it just shows you the strength. And on this chart, we can see this pretty basic smart money accumulation and distribution here happening. So we have this accumulation, manipulation, and now we have the distribution phase, which usually, after having this move down, has some kind of a retracement and then another move down. So that's what I would wait globally.
Yeah, just to confirm, the DXY index is indeed the index of the dollar against multiple currencies, where it is euro, yen, pound, Canadian dollar, Swedish krona, and the Swiss franc in different weights. So obviously the euro holds the most weight, and then the yen, and so on.
Yeah, that makes sense. So yeah, we can see that dollar is still to just Drew, so it's still looking to go down to me. It has some targets below, even these. These are targets from, 7 years ago?
Yeah.
And this what can drive Bitcoin to the upside. So if dollar keeps dropping, then Bitcoin will keep rising.
Whew.
And you might also want to look at the euro chart. It has like just the opposite targets compared to the dollar. So it has these 125.
Yeah. Well, cheap holidays to America if that happens.
Yeah, that's really good. So yeah, what else? Now we can move to other market cap indicators here, like the market cap charts. So this is the total 2, which is the crypto market cap excluding Bitcoin, which is interesting to compare. So this is with Bitcoin, and this is without Bitcoin. Right. And they have different targets. So as you saw, this one, the Bitcoin one, already took out this previous high from the 21. And altcoin market without Bitcoin didn't take out this high.
Right.
So what it shows to me is that we'll most likely see the Bitcoin slowing down. So it might slowly go up to the new all-time high and stay somewhere around these areas, like 120 maybe, 125, I don't know. And then as Bitcoin either stopping there or slowly moving down, then altcoins need to catch up with these. So there is a huge 40% gap to the upside, at least to take out this first target.
So this means that the altcoins can still see a big rise in the near future.
Yeah, I hope so.
Hopefully, maybe finally clear some of those bags that we've been holding.
Oh yeah, it's like I used to be very bad with my spot portfolio, and like on the last bull run, I was like, okay, I will no longer sell in loss, so I will buy and hold, as you told me at some point. Yeah, and I'm still holding for like 2 years already.
Holding on for dear life. That's what we're doing.
Yeah,
right now.
that's what it is.
When's altcoin season starting? Yeah, it should have already. We don't know exactly if and when it will start. It just, the altcoins, just the landscape just changed like insanely with all these new altcoins appearing on the Solana chain.
Yeah, those meme coins on Pump Fun, they're just trading the market.
Yeah,
because a lot of new people are coming into crypto, and
they see
they're
that,
just losing
right?
the money.
But they see the crazy percentages, and they're like, "Oh, I'm not too late to the party. I can still 10x my investment." And then they realize that they can only do that in those types of markets. Like if you want to 10x your account in a week, you can only do that there. However, the chance that you will be able to do that is almost zero.
Yeah, and then they get disappointed, and they go away. Never trade again.
Table flip, go away, and money not to return into the market.
Yeah. So on this chart with total market cap without Bitcoin, we can see that we also have this weekly shift and a lot of targets to the upside, but it has this one fair value gap on the way. So there's the only thing that might stop the altcoins at this moment. I don't know, there might be some short-term pause before going up, but it can happen.
Yeah.
It's still looking pretty bullish, so that's good.
Okay,
let's go to Bitcoin Dominance. This one doesn't stop. Jesus.
Well, it's like that fishing rod, almost.
Yeah, but I really doubt that Bitcoin Dominance will ever drop below 50% again.
Yeah.
With all these treasuries that might be coming up.
Yeah, this chart is definitely different because of the ETFs and the investments, the institutional investment companies. They are slowly dipping their toes into the crypto space, but they can only do that right now in Bitcoin because the others are just like they're like if you think that Bitcoin is based on nothing, the rest is even more based on nothing. So this is the OG, so this is what they will be looking at, and as soon as there's regulation and especially the official dollar stablecoin or regulations based on the current stablecoins, then even more institutions will start to look for diversifying into crypto.
Yeah. But I mean, it has to retrace at some point. And as soon as that starts to happen, we'll see the altcoin run.
Yeah.
That's what I was waiting for like 6 months already. So back in December, I think, I drew something like this. But yeah, I think it was, I had something like this. I expected it to go up and then go down, but it doesn't happen.
Nope.
So yeah, you just want to observe these Bitcoin Dominance chart and see the signs when it starts weakening. Like this candle that we had on May again. at the same time the Bitcoin went up, we can see the dominance went down. And it might be the first sign of potential reversal.
Yeah, because that means that there's huge price increase in altcoins. If Bitcoin is going up and the dominance is going down, that means that the others are going up even faster. Which is what we saw. Like Ethereum just did massive amounts. Solana did massive amounts.
Yeah. Yeah, I wanted to find... I'll probably find and post the image later on Discord with how they usually depend these markets. There is a nice correlation. Yeah, I'll find it and post it later.
Yeah.
Yeah, something crazy happened on Euro again.
Oh, wow. That's just in the last hour.
Yeah. And I had a position somewhere here, I guess.
Oh, so you stopped out.
Yeah.
Oh, well. That's why we have stop loss.
Okay, so what else do I want to see? Yeah, I think we can just go to the market, at least start building our wish list.
Yep.
Since we have first expectations.
Yep.
Okay,
yeah, we know what to look for. We're very bullish. All signs point up.
And do you see my screen?
Yep.
Okay, so what do I want to see? I want to look at Bitcoin, right?
Yeah. So explain to us, like, what is this watch list going to be and what are we going to do with this? Because I think that that's going to be interesting.
The idea is that we just collect a lot of markets. By a lot, I mean, we can start with 20 for now. Maybe like we can set a goal of 10 and then slowly increase. And we will analyze them and set our targets. So we'll have short-term, intermediate-term, long-term targets. And this will help us build expectation and trade these markets.
Yeah. So we will post this watch list on the Discord with our analysis, so that everyone can follow along with that, right?
Yeah.
Good. That's clear.
So yeah, my plan is to do these weekly either streams or videos. Just record the videos. I don't know what's better. And just explain our expectation from the market, set our targets, and then potentially trade it once we have any opportunity.
Yep. Sounds good. And we'll see what the format will be. We may do recording so that we can filter out the noise. So you don't have to sit through an hour of webinar and just get to the points on the updates. That's probably a nice way to do it. But they will be published on the Wednesday then.
Yep. Okay, so Bitcoin on monthly is pretty bullish, as we saw that. We have this fair value gap fulfilled. This one. And then we had this nice shift on the weekly. And then another weekly fair value gap here. So this chart looks pretty bullish at this moment.
Yeah, so the move has happened into the weekly fair value gap.
And yeah. when that happens, you just want to check daily chart. And we had the daily shift, which is good. So that is another bullish sign.
Daily
we have
fair
this
value gap.
Daily fair value gap, which is good.
Which could be a potential entry area.
Yeah, and also this can be the order block. These are your drawings, I think.
Yeah, those are the ones that you made.
Yeah. That.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so we have clear targets here.
Because that target is not filled yet, is it?
Yeah, it just came very close to it, but didn't take it out.
So the possibility is that it will enter the fair value gap first and then take out the target, or immediately take the target. But
it's hard to say because, like, with this daily candle that we had yesterday,
that's a bearish one now.
It is. I mean, I wouldn't. I'm not sure. I think it is bearish when it has.
It has to be. Yeah, it has to be above the previous one. It has to be above this one, but it's not.
Yeah, so it's not really clear, but yeah, we need to see how this day is closing, and then we either have this drop where we can open longs to the upside, or it might just go straight up.
But the targets are at the 112 and 111.
Yeah. I also want to set this Fibonacci that I had. Let me quickly do that. Yeah, so this is 122 is the possible target when we have a new all-time high. It's something to look for.
Yep. So, yeah, 4 hour.
Let's check the 4 hour.
4 hour targets are still the same, I think. We have fair value gaps. One dipped in a little bit, but and this one as well. Who? Here.
Yeah. Yeah, this time frame is pretty hard to build the expectations. Like on daily, it was pretty bullish, but on 4 hour, it just stopped. So this might be.
It looks like it's losing some steam, but that's again, it's kind of like required for the daily fair value gaps to be filled, right? To be entered at least.
Yeah. So yeah, it's interesting to see what will happen there. But looks like the news are crazy. We had something. What's that? The CPI metrics.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had this news just rolled out a few minutes ago.
Forecast previous. So it's a little bit less than expected.
Yeah, it's less than expected, but
it's still better than previous. or better. I don't know if it's better.
Yeah, I need to pay more attention to these metrics and what they actually mean.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so
That's
on Bitcoin, we can say that like we have two plans. Either the price goes up and there is no way to get a position here at this moment.
Yeah.
Or we might see a retracement into this daily fair value gap or even lower to this 4-hour fair value gap. And then we might find a position. So we can just set the alerts here. We can add the names, the notes for them.
Yeah, so basically it's either going to be waiting, Bitcoin going to continue, which is fine, but for us to be able to take action, then we need to wait until it dips again, because even if in the bullish period, we need to have that retracement first before it continues. Like we don't want to chase the bullish pattern. We want to react to a retracement and then continue riding the wave up.
Yeah.
All right. So that's market one.
Yeah, just one. And we're at the end of the stream.
Can we do one more?
Yeah, sure. So yeah, just to summarize that, so Bitcoin is still pretty bullish since we had this shift.
Yeah.
But like I would say that the long term, for me, I would say that this has to be a range at some point. So after taking out the all-time high, I think that we'll see something like this.
Yeah. I mean, it's still a long way till November, so there's plenty of time to do that.
Yeah, and if we have this slowing down on Bitcoin, then we hopefully will see the major moves in altcoins.
Yeah, I reckon it's going to be a little bit boring for Bitcoin again till later on this year. Because August is usually bad, right? Because people are on holiday, everything is slow, and by September.
Yeah, it's interesting because all these previous years, the traders had this sell in May and go away mentality. And this year it was different. So those who learned the lesson and wanted to sell in May and go away, they didn't have a chance to buy before the May. So because price went up way before that. So price went up from November.
Yeah.
And then it dropped when everyone wanted to buy in this March period. Price went down, and then everyone thought like, okay, we had to sell earlier this year, but then price went up again. So again, those traders who do not follow the markets, they lose.
Yeah.
So you need to analyze the market and see the moves, because if you would see this weekly shift after testing monthly fair value gap, this was already a huge sign that we are bullish. And maybe, yeah. See, there was this one test of this daily fair value gap, and that's it. That's all the chances that you get.
Yeah. You have to be quick.
And another one here.
You have to set those alerts, right?
Yeah. But again, if you do the analysis like this,
you'll be watching it every day. Yeah.
So you start with the monthly chart. You do it once for, I don't know, you can do it once a month or even once a 2 month. That's already enough. Then you check weekly. It's enough for you like to look at it for 1 minute or even less to see what happened since the past week. And that's it. Then you can move to daily time frame.
Yeah.
So you don't need to do this full analysis every week. You need to do it once, and then it just takes you a few seconds to check the higher time frame, and then you're ready to drop to daily and do your analysis here.
Okay.
So Yeah, let's move to the other market.
Good old Ethereum.
This chart is so painful to look at.
Nice little sweep. Fair value gap almost filled. Not entirely.
Yeah, and I wonder, yeah, so this will probably be the first trouble area. Yeah, I can also see that there was this inverse fair value gap actually.
Yeah, and yeah, depending on how we end this month, which is early, but there is a fair value gap forming. So if we end higher, then there is a new fair value gap. So probably a reversal back into it, likely.
Yeah. So this for me on the monthly chart, this would be the scenario that I would expect the most. So stop somewhere within this fair value gap, this inverse fair value gap from here. Or maybe it will even retrace before the month ends. We don't know. And that I hope it will go up.
Yeah.
But you never know with the Ethereum. Which also, yeah, what I wanted to show you, we need to add another market here. Do it like this. I'll just do it here. At times like this, it is useful to look at this Ethereum Bitcoin chart. It will show you some signs of the potential Ethereum reversal. So you can see we had this major sweep of liquidity. I don't know if it went any lower.
Yeah, it did.
Here.
Yeah.
There are still some targets below, which is not good.
Still some liquidity there.
Yeah, that's not good. We'll see what happens. But hopefully it is some kind of a, oh, it is a nice move on weekly.
There's no shift yet. Shift is here.
Yeah, this would be the shift. And feeder, I don't know.
Fair value gap.
Yeah. Oh, does, I mean, this inverse fair value gap is already good. That's a good sign. So we can hope that it will somehow go up and start fighting against Bitcoin. But yeah, it's really hard to say.
Yeah.
Because again, this chart, you can see that it is just going down for what? For 1,000 days, 3 years. And it's all because Bitcoin Dominance is doing the opposite.
Yeah, all the ETFs and stuff.
So yeah, but we can see the signs of the strength of Ethereum. And that's a good sign for the altcoins.
Yeah, because usually Ethereum is the first one to start showing Altseason, right?
Well, it used to. It didn't happen.
It didn't. It hasn't happened yet. No, that's for sure.
But it shows you the strength of the Ethereum against Bitcoin, and at the same time, it is the strength of the market against Bitcoin.
Yeah.
So Bitcoin is slowing down, and the market is speeding up. So that's good. And knowing that, we go back to weekly on Ethereum. So here we had this shift on weekly, which is good. We have this fair value gap. And this one is inverse fair value gap. So yeah, it shows us some potential for what might happen in this market.
Here's a stacked one, by the way.
Yeah. I mean, oh wait. Yeah, this is monthly. This one monthly too. So yeah, as soon as Ethereum reaches this point, there might be this short-term reaction to the downside.
Yeah, because, I mean, well, yeah, weekly, we just came off this. So this was the impulse move. So we would expect a little bit of a correction, which is always a little bit more wavy.
Yeah, so it's hard to say.
Lots of liquidity here.
Yeah, there are lots of targets there. But yeah, it's like intermediate, it might be bearish. So short term, we want to reach this weekly fair value gap and this inverse fair value gap. But then we want to retrace down to this monthly and weekly fair value gap.
Yeah. So
and then we can expect a move
So
up.
would you consider a trade here? A short trade?
You mean shorting? Why not? Like if you see,
if there's a good if there's a good RR to find.
Yeah, so let's say, so I drew this gray line here. That's the weekly fair value gap. If price enters here and then you switch to daily and you see that Quasimodo, then you can enter.
Yeah.
So with this shift on daily, this is already good. So you can wait for this move on daily. And then, let me redraw that. So this is really great strategy, great approach for the smart money. So you have this daily Quasimodo, but you don't trade daily time frame, right? This would just tell you that price is shifting. So it would be daily shift. And this shift would probably create fair value gap somewhere here. Daily fair value gap. So this would be daily fair value gap. And then as soon as price revisits this fair value gap, then you switch to 1 hour time frame and you look for another Quasimodo model, but on 1 hour. Something there. And here you just enter a short position.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
that's the beauty of the top-down analysis.
Yeah.
When you can synchronize time frames from the highest to the lowest. Like you don't need to synchronize with monthly time frame, but once you have the weekly, daily, and hourly, that's already enough.
Okay. And those we will post on Discord.
Yeah.
Sounds awesome. Saves everyone a lot of time.
Yeah, and I hope everyone else would also do something like that with their own markets and share their expectations. Right. So yeah, let's look at the daily.
Well, actually, it's past the... we ran out of time. We're way over.
Be very quick. So since we have this target, the weekly fair value gap start, I think there is a huge opportunity with this kind of move if that happens. So if price revisits this area this is where I would look for a long position. So this is the daily time frame. If price revisits here, then I'll switch to 1 hour and look for the position to the upside.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, so we had time to review just 2 markets this time. And I hope next time we can add much more, because we spend a lot of time looking at macro data.
I'm actually like, this is the stuff that I didn't have time to do, or like didn't. I mean, it doesn't take that much time, but it's just that hurdle to get over, right? So if we have this where we get that bump start, like, okay, so here it is. Try to copy it and try to do it yourself. I think that this might be a good bump for people to get more involved with this strategy, because we've shown in the last weeks that this strategy is high potential profitability. So yeah, I think that this was a great idea, Roman. So
thank you.
It was a little bit last minute, so that's why not many people interacted yet. It's also the first one, so we're trying to test it all out. But I can assure you that in a few weeks' time, we'll be having lots and lots of analysis in the markets. And because we're using a watch list and we're tracking only a few markets, it'll be more interesting. And as we've seen in the backtest, we do several trades in a few weeks on the same market. So if we have several markets, then every week we will have something to talk about on a market in our watch list. So that will be very interesting to follow along, I think. So if you haven't done so, please join us on Discord and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow along with these series. If you're unfamiliar with the smart money concept, go back to the beginning. We teach everything from the start, so that everything that you see here will make sense after you've watched those first webinars from this series. If you don't know where to find the series, it's in the description. Just click it. You will have text-based or video-based, whatever you prefer. Everything explained by Roman in the first episodes. And on that note, I want to thank you again, Roman. Thanks everyone for watching. Thanks everyone for watching it back on the live stream. And then we'll see everyone again next Tuesday for Smart Money. Tomorrow for a quick scan. Sounds good.
Getting a lot of live streams.
Oh yeah. It's like it's the new thing. For us, at least. All right, everyone. Thank you for watching. See you again soon. Bye.
Bye-bye.